Hello, everyone. My name is Lucas Lanciotti. I'm a team leader here at the partnership team in Belgium, and we are reaching the end of the first Odoo Experience Day. I'm glad that you guys are tuning in for another session, for another talk. And today, what are we going to be talking about? Oh, but first, hold on. We do have a Q&A session, so stay with me. Let's discuss at the end of this talk, and any questions that you have, I'll be happy to respond them. Now, what are we talking about today? Odoo Studio.
Oh my god, are you about to say that I will be able to record my first song with Odoo Studio?
Zola, you are still functional support, man. We have open tickets. Your music career hasn't taken off. Gosh. Now, Studio is not a recording app. It's not for music, but it's really cool too. So, what is Odoo Studio? It's actually a toolbox that allows users, partners, to change the behavior, to add fields, to add relational fields, all different objects and attributes that are going to change the behavior of an Odoo database without moving off of standard. Basically, without coding skills, you can adapt an Odoo database to the specific requests of some clients, of yourself. That sounds really cool, right? But in practical terms, why would you use Odoo Studio? Well, because it's a lot faster and it's a lot easier to actually code. And you'll see that it does matter. It matters a lot because the users, the people actually clicking that mouse, really like a tailor made product. So if yourself or your client has some specific requests that are not present in Odoo standard, well, we have a solution for you, and it's called Odoo Studio. Let me set the stage for a second here. I was walking in Cagliari around the city, and I saw this guy like completely tucked under the car, trying to rescue a kitten. And I called him out and said, like, "Yo, man, what's going on?" And he says, "I'm on a mission." And that guy, Gino, actually now is running a staff of volunteers dedicated to rescuing and releasing for adoption wild and domestic animals.
Of
So
course, I am Gino. Those are my animals. Perfect.
Zola thinks he's Gino, but will not tell him anything. Uh, so basically, Gino is now running this team, and he needs our help. He needs my help to adapt Odoo database because his specific request doesn't exist. He needs an app where he can manage the animals. Basically, the staff need to input data about these animals. They need to actually work with different related objects. So basically, knowing who is the veterinary. There's a lot of specific requests that are not present that we're going to do it from scratch by using Odoo Studio. So let's jump into an Odoo database and let's help Gino save the animals. Here we are. This is a fresh Odoo database. For those of you who are not familiar, I only have a few apps installed, and that's all we're gonna need to create this, let's say, initial flow. You see the little toggle here, this the icon Odoo Studio. As soon as you click it, this opaque layer comes in front of Odoo database, and you are going to see that you are in studio mode. I have the option right in front of me to create a new app. And here I'm going to create an app that is called Rescued Babies. We want to well, treat the animals, right? And I have here in my images a really cute picture that I'm going to use as my icon. Odoo allows you to do that. Cute little picture, right? Moving forward, object name. This is very important. So this is the object that we are going to define in our database, which is going to relate to the other objects that are pre-existing in our system. And we are going to be dealing with animals most of all. So that's it. From V14 and now improved in V15, we have pre-configured models, which are a set of different option of models that are commonly used across many different industries. So we are just basically putting out in front of you, use it because, it can come in hand. For example, I want to add pipeline stages because it's very important for the flow within the organization. I want a picture. Of course, I want a picture. I want to see those cute little animals that we rescue. And with 6 clicks and 45 seconds, I have a new app in Odoo. Fantastic, right? It's amazing. That's it. Studio is now launching, and that's it. We have a fresh form view where we are going to start dragging and dropping the fields that we need to input data so the users can have information about this animal. We want to start by adding a text field, and here comes the first suggestion. Always label your fields, because that is going to change the technical name, and it's important if you need to find those fields that you added in the past. I'm going to continue adding new fields. For example, I'm going to add a decimal. It's important that the users understand the weight of this animal, and then in the future the change of the weight in terms of the evolution of the health.
Man, is it really important to add the weight? It's a sensitive subject, huh?
Well, imagine that your undernourished dog gains a kilo. Everybody wants to know the dog is improving. I think it's important. Shall we keep it?
Well, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
thanks. Anyways, continuing. The date and time. We want to know when the animal was rescued. So the rescue date, again, I'm using tab to tab out. As soon as you click out of the label, Studio saves, and that's it. You don't risk losing anything. Other than the rescue date, I am going to also add a selection. Here it is. And I'm going to drag and drop this selection here. And I want to know the gender, of course. And we can predefine the possible values. So there is no mistake, female, and gender neutral. We might rescue, I don't know, an animal that doesn't want to tell us. And we are into all this gender neutrality thing. There we go. I'm going to actually change the label into gender, tab out. Cool. That's it. So on the left, I have inputted some basic information that's kind of static about the animal. I'm going to move to the right side of my form view, and here I'm going to work with related fields. This is a really interesting concept that basically, you see here, I have a many to one, one to many, many to many. By dragging a many to one, what I'm doing is creating a bidirectional relationship between different objects.
What?
Yeah.
Like, field are like related? Like, is it a love relation? Like, is it like physical relation? What is it?
It depends on the object, Tola. Some of them have
Uh,
grown into attributes, some of them just stayed as casual relationships. And here I'm going to add a relation to my employees. So basically, what I want to do is pick up the information of my employees and make it available here. For example, I want to know at every time in every animal form who is the vet in charge for this animal. And as soon as I tab out, I am going to go with this additional attributes immediately. So we're going to see later. I want to disable the creation. So when I go into this field, I don't want people to create new veterinaries, because that obviously doesn't provide any useful functionality to my application. In domain, I'm going to add a filter immediately. What I'm doing here is, well, using attributes to make my application smarter. So if I tell Odoo that the vet in charge has to have a job title that contains vet, I'm basically narrowing down the possibility of the users like me and like the staff team here at Who Let the Dogs Out to uh, input correct data. I am going to add one more field, and it's going to be a related field under vet in charge. So I am now building on top of this field that I just created. And here I'm going to say that my vet in charge is the related field. And within my vet in charge, I want to display the work mobile. You see how we are creating different logics, and this is making the application a lot smarter. So in the label, I'm going to say that it's the sorry, emergency phone number. There we go. We tab out, and fantastic. Now we have some static information on the left that is going to be important to maintain an overview of this animal. We have a couple of related fields on the right. We have my notes. I'm going to close it quickly just to check it. Let's add some data and see how it looks. So this is going to be Joey the monkey, and Joey the monkey has a nickname which is obviously Joey, and he was rescued with 3.5 kilos. Small little monkey. He was rescued yesterday, and he's a little male. Now, remember, before clicking here, I would be able to create, I would be able to select multiple employees that are not vets. Now, everything is narrowed down to the good options. I have Amanda the vet and Cesar Milan as my veterinarians, and I'm going to select Amanda. My related field automatically pulls the information from Amanda, and now I have her phone number here as an emergency. I am actually going to write the notes. Imagine we rescued Joey yesterday, and we can add information about the context here. So Joey was rescued stealing necklaces from a tourist group in Thailand. So now we other than rescued Joey to provide him with a better life, we kept one less animal from his criminal life. We did a very good job on Joey. He's really growing on us. Save Joey. Now it's good. Good information on the left, static. I need more information, but the UI is looking good. I don't want to cramp that UI, so I can use tabs. Tabs are going to allow me and the users to add additional information, but neatly nested within those tabs. So here in the first tab, oh, actually I have to do something before. So this tab is going to be the medical tab, and that's it. It's saved. I'm going to add a second tab, which I'm going to use to store the documents. Every animal has a passport, and we are going to store them here. Now, I need a new menu. This new menu is going to be a new model, and it's going to be treatment, where I'm going to store all the treatments that I have. I don't need any additional pre-configured models. What I just want to do is to have this new menu in as storing the different treatments that this animal is going to receive. And for that, to make it very simple, I'm going to go into view and editable. I'm going to select the option where I can just new records coming at the bottom. What this means is when I go into treatment, and here I can show you a little cute trick in Odoo, you press Alt and you have the access to shortcuts. Alt C, Alt C allows me to create quickly. So I'm going to say parvovirus uh, adenovirus, yeah, and coronavirus. I don't know if you heard of that one. It's pretty famous
So this is all the treatment that you have for the animals?
for the moment. Yes,
Man, you don't have massage and stuff?
we can add massage. Massage is nice. We should have massage, therapeutical massages for the
Of
animals.
course.
Thanks, Zola. I think the who let the dogs out is going to be very happy. So I'm going to save these treatments, and I'm going to go back into my animal form here. And now I'm going to show you something really cute and cool. It's the possibility of playing with tags and checkboxes. I'm going to add a checkbox here on the left, which says is vaccinated. Gino really asked me to say, like, I need all the users to know if this animal is vaccinated before they're dealing with the animal. So one quick checkbox on the left. Let's go to the right. The field on the right is going to tell me I'm going to use tags so users can see this treatments. And here another relation, right, Zola? Relations,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And treatment is the relation within these tags. And I'm going to add another cute little trick that is going to make it nicer. So the treatments, I'm going to add a little S here, so you know the technical name also adapted. Smart, right? And we are going to disable the creation. We don't want to create new tags, and we want to use colors. Colors are going to give a nice contrast overall. Everything is saved. I'm tabbing out. Let's move on This application is looking smart. So I'm using attributes, I'm using filters, and now I'm using tags, all of that to add functionality to this tag. Okay, here we go. So let's add a massage to Joey, right?
Right.
Yes, Joey is going to receive a massage, and we're going to make this a blue massage. Fantastic. We need to give him also a coronavirus vaccine just in case, and we're going to make this reddish. Cool. We have Joey the monkey, fully functional form. Everything is looking okay. Let's move on quickly to one important aspect, which is the document. Studio allows you to create reports, and this is what we want to do here. So I'm going to add a field, a file field. Well, that's a Rotanger, a file field. And here I'm going to select widgets. Widgets are very cool because they can change the front end appearance of that field. And here I have different options. PDF, all of our documents are in PDF. So it makes sense, right? Logical. I'm going to say that this is the PDF passport, and I'm going to tab out and create. Now, you see this? Report. Studio allows me to create reports directly from here. This is an external report, of course. This is outside. I am going to create. Now, simply by dragging and dropping either field and labels, I can start by adding the nickname, confirm it, and I can use another one with his weight. We still want to know his weight, and I confirm. And finally, I'm going to add the last field, which is Joey's picture, Joey's image. There we go. Cool. We have a report about Joey. Whoa, hold on. Where's his image? Of course, I didn't upload it yet. Let's close it. Let's edit Joey's form view. Let's include his image. There we go. This is Joey. Save it, and we have a report. Now, if I go into the print and I print my animal report, I am going to have in a PDF generated automatically by Odoo. Save it. There we go. Now I can Alt A, you see, shortcuts. Shortcuts make your life easier. I love shortcuts. Now, OXP and animal report for the PDF that we just created. Joey's image, his name, his weight. Fantastic, right? That was so quick and so easy. We created a new PDF report generated automatically. That's I just love it. Now, let's think. We have a complete form view. What we need to add functionalities, let's say, to the flow of the application. So I go back to my animal and I see that I have steps, right? Gino told me we pick up these animals. So as soon as they are rescued, they have to be logged in the system. Then they go through a second stage, which is basically in shelter. When they arrive in shelter, the appropriate user is going to get that animal and update his form view. So basically, I can say that Joey from rescued is now in shelter before he was in transit. And the final stage of who let the dogs out process is basically adopted. That's when we find a fantastic, nice little family where Joey is not going to need to steal or deal more to survive. And this is it. So we have a fully functional app. I'm going to add one last nice trick to add to just to provide you with a scratching the surface idea of what Studio can do is actually creating an automation, an automated action. So let's say medical analysis. And this is going to be an action which is going to create a new activity, is going to be triggered by upon creation. And sorry, this activity is going to be a to do. Basically, the summary is medical analysis required. There we go. Due date in 2 days. And we are going to test it out. Let's save it. The responsible, of course, it's still me for the time. Then we're going to assign the correct responsible. I'm going to close this, go back to my application, and here I'm going to Alt C again, and it's going to be George of the Jungle. This is George. We're gonna name his nickname George. We can actually add a picture of George. Let's see if I have George here. That's it. And basically, we as soon as we save if the automated action worked, and it did, we have a reminder, a to-do activity that in 2 days we need to perform a medical analysis. Again, just scratching the surface. The time is really short, so I had to concentrate a lot of information. What we did was, from a fresh Odoo database with just a few modules, we created an entire app. We structured a form view to make sure that the information about these animals are complete, that they are factual, and we also understood the idea of relational fields and this connection between the different objects in my database that are extremely important. If I have to give you some tips, is first of all, explore Odoo Standard. A lot of the things that you need are already there. When you find yourself with some limitations, Studio is an amazing tool that is going to allow you to do so much without actually coding skills and staying in Odoo Standard SaaS. I
Man, you
really,
forgot the most important thing, huh?
what is that, Zola?
Man, we saved the animals.
Oh yes, Gino, and my friends from the who let the dogs out NGO, we are saving so many animals, and they are very happy. Thanks, Zola, for reminding me.
Of course.
Uh, Again, thanks very much for staying until now. You've been through a lot of information today. Stay tuned. Let's have a chat now at the Q&A, and tomorrow there's much more. Thanks again. It was a pleasure, Lucas, and see you at the next OXP. Bye bye.
Hello, everyone. So nice to see you all. Thank you, Lucas, for your talk. It was super interesting.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you for the time you spent in that presentation. And I see we have a lot of questions in the chatter, so we're going to jump right into that, if that's
Sure.
okay for you. So I see that we have a first question about can we hide the studio button for certain users?
Well, hide it. It would require. First of all, thank you very much for staying awake up until now. Those in the European continent, and well, you can hide. It would require some development. So, kind of breaking up the sense of studio, I would say that you can use access rights to limit the possibility of some users to actually access the studio mode.
Okay, very interesting. And I also see that Johan has a question about, is it possible to use Python import function in Odoo Studio?
That would also kind of disrupt the sense of using Odoo Studio, right? You use Odoo Studio because you want to change behavior using the drag and drop UI view without touching code. If you're looking into use Python scripts to change the behavior, then it would make sense that you go into full development and avoid Odoo Studio.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay.
And I also see that some users wonder, what is the version of Odoo that you're using in the presentation that you just gave?
So first of all, I'm glad that you guys are paying attention. For this talk, I prepared the flow using an intermediary version because the new features, they wouldn't match the actual flow that I wanted to show you guys, the whole notion of building an app from scratch. So no, I was in an intermediary version, 14.4. I'm not sure exactly. But yeah, some of those lines that the new features for V15 were missing in this flow, but that doesn't limit the sense that this flow would like to present to you guys, which is a lot of functionalities, a lot of features that are present, that is made for the use of Odoo Studio in general.
Okay, nice. It's a lot clearer, I think, now. And we have Chris Wico, who asked if you can already create smart buttons based on many-to-many links instead of just one-to-many and many-to-one links.
You can create smart buttons, that is for sure. I would have to get back to you if also on by the bidirectional relationship between many-to-many records. So you can create smart buttons. We would have to pin down on that exactly, but you have my name and my email in the chat, and I'm happy to touch base on that following this talk.
All right, and I see some very nice comment from Flavio Guzman, who said that Studio it's wow.
Nice one, Flavio.
So nice, thank you. It is actually, it's very, it's a very nice.
Really encourage you
tool.
to start playing with Studio as much as you can. It's really nice.
Definitely. And we have some more questions. I'm scrolling down the chat a few seconds. We have, okay, here. A questions about how can anyone just start using Studio or do you need like coding skills?
Nope, that's exactly the purpose. I'm not technical. I'm not a developer, and Odoo Studio is created specifically for end users, but also for implementers who want to allocate resources into the actual process, going away from the technical burden of writing scripts, although that can be extremely fun. But Studio has a really good purpose in helping people without technical skills to change a behavior, to adapt, to tailor-made a database of Odoo.
All right. And a super important question as well from Geert, who asked if what's going to happen with his customization when you upgrade to the V15.
That's a very good question, Hurt. And since Studio adds on top of an Odoo standard SAS database, the migration is going to be automatically upgraded to V15 and V16. So you don't have to worry about it.
So we are safe with the upgrade then.
Yeah, you're safe.
Okay, so perfect. So thanks a lot, everyone, for your very interesting questions. I think we all learned a lot about, the use of Studio and this application in the V15. Thank you so very much, Luca, for the time you spent with us and for your very interesting answers.
Law, thank you very much. It was a pleasure. I also learned a lot. So the same way, I encourage you guys to explore Odoo Studio, to test it out, to play it, and see and discover all the amazing functionalities. Not just Studio, but go out and play with Odoo. It's an amazing tool. Thanks, Law.
Yes, thank you. Bye.